So guys, have you ever seen where you got something that may look pretty good, like this tree, and it actually starts sucking all the life out of everything else around it, and you end up having to call somebody like these guys to come and cut it down because it's just not worth it? Well, later on I'm going to tell you the history of what was going on with this little tree. With just a little short take of it, we cut down a tree in the backyard, and the squirrels seemed to get a little upset about it, so they decided they'd chew up everything in this tree and then just start throwing it down in the driveway. You may be able to see it, but that's just light. That's just light stuff. It's not actually the fullness of what they did. But anyway, I'll go back in and I'll give you a little bit more of the history in a minute. So guys, they are still at it. That sky sure is pretty. But anyway, I'm gonna walk around here and let you guys see what they did. And I'm gonna give you the little backstory in a minute about how the squirrels decided that they wanted to throw some of all of these little things at me. I didn't know they had that great an aim, but anyway, that's what they're taking down. Alright, see you in a minute. So guys, I just woke up and I realized I was supposed to be talking to you about something today. Put the shoulder down. Poofed up. Tells you guys I really can't keep a hairstyle for a long time. I'd rather do this, change up. Some people change up a lot of other things more often than I change up my hair. But anyway, I like doing it. Anyway, thought I'd jump on here really quick. As you saw, I had a tree cut down, and I started off with that so that I could correspond on what the purpose of that was. So earlier this year, we had a tree in the backyard cut down. It was a pine tree. It was getting too close to the house, and the roots were actually kind of uprooting some things in the back of the house, and we didn't really want it to go under the house to start messing with the plumbing. So we decided we would go ahead and have that tree cut down. And we had the tree cut down, and then we were looking at the tree in the front that you saw in the video earlier, and we debated about that one because aesthetically it was so pretty. I mean, I love the way that it looked. I love the way that it allowed the hedges to go around it. It just had a look that I liked. But lo and behold, because we cut down the tree in the backyard, we had the squirrel invasion going on in the front yard. And I mean to the point where the squirrels were, I don't know if they were chewing the pine cones, but it's like they were eating it like it was corn on the cob. And they were just throwing all the quote unquote cobs down on the ground as fast as I could clean it up when I was doing the lawn. They were throwing these things back down to the point where they threw it one time, hit me right in the head. I looked up to see what was going on. One came right down in front of me, so it was like they're upset because we cut that tree down in the back. So it's like, yeah, you cut my tree down in the back, I'll take care of you. So they just made a mess. It was a constant mess all the time. And then on top of that, the tree started to absorb everything, all the water that was around it. The hedges that were around the tree, they got the same nutrients that the tree did. But as far as the grass, and I think it's called knockout roses, it was just dying. So I sat there one time. It was so ridiculous that I actually pulled a chair out and sat in the chair with a water hose. We do have a sprinkler system, but it wasn't even making a dent in that area as far as saturating the ground. So I'm sitting there in a chair looking real ridiculous, with the hose, trying to keep that area wet. Until it finally dawned on me, and I know my neighbor had mentioned it as well. Hey, Ruthie, why don't you just cut the tree down? But the tree it was so aesthetically pleasing. And this is my point. Sometimes things can be aesthetically pleasing and it looks good to the eye, but it's draining on you and it will suck the life out of you. That's what that tree was doing. It looked good, but I had to take extra time. It took maybe about an hour to get up all the pine. And I don't have, as you see, my little um, lawnmower. It doesn't have the bag on the back, and it's not motorized and all. We'll talk. Well, I'm actually thinking about upgrading on that. I'm thinking about getting a battery operated one, just like I have a battery operated blower, a battery operated trimmer and hedger. So I'm really thinking about that, getting the one with the bag on the end. But anyway, for now, I may not even need it. So it takes an hour for me to gather up all their little chippings and the pine straw that started to fall down and everything. But um, now I'm at a point where I've taken care of the fact of this tree has basically sucked all the energy and all the life out of the grass and out of the roses. And it's a lesson that I learned. It's always a lesson in something. Just because something looks good, it doesn't mean it's good for you. Sometimes it could literally suck the life out of you. And you have to realize when you start pouring more into something and it's not actually giving anything back to you, you have to have a stopping point. And that's what I didn't have. I just continued to sit there in the chair, putting extra water and causing the water bill to go up because I was just sitting there. Maybe I caught myself one time about 45 minutes, which was wrong. I never only did it once. Trying to get that water, that grass, the dirt saturated, so where the tree had already suctioned everything up. Make sure you take care of yourself to the point where you don't have anything in your life that's just sucking all the energy and all the life out of you, and you're constantly pouring back into it because it looks good. The squirrels actually helped me out to make this decision about cutting down the trees because I just got tired of cleaning up their mess, cleaning up their debris, and then they had attitude problems when they threw that little leftover and hit me in the head with it. So that was my little lesson for that. But even so, the tree that was in the back, we kept that tree up for the longest because the squirrels liked it. You know, in other words, people on the outside like what you have, but you know, it might be killing you to compensate for them, but you've got it there. And I realized, okay, let's just cut it down because it is not helping me. In life, sometimes you have to cut things loose. You have to cut it down. It's not as if it's just a bad thing. That tree by itself out in the woods, this is a beautiful thing. But next to your home is uprooting your foundation. Take a note in that. Don't want anything to uproot your foundation. But it was just causing too much of an issue, too many problems for me. As far as maintenance, it wasn't worth it. So my little spiel here now is to, whenever you see something that is just sucking the life out of you and it's taking too much time to keep trying to make it work or to take care of things around it, just cut it down. Cut it loose. Move forward. It was when I came outside and I saw the tree was missing, I did have some angst about that. Like, oh no, you know, I'm so used to seeing that tree there. I'm so used to it holding up the hedges, and I realized the hedges are still there. They didn't collapse. They didn't fall down. Um, I drove home the other day and I looked. I really didn't even notice that the tree was missing after a couple of days. And all that time it was causing me all that problem, all those troubles, having to go back and clean up around it. I should have just had it cut down. So my little spiel for today, after I just woke up and remembered I was supposed to come and talk to you guys, is don't let anything just suck the life out of you. Some things you're just gonna have to cut it loose, let it go, thank it for being there the time that it was there for you, and keep it moving. So this is actually one of my short videos. See you guys the next time.